is up? Hope you're doing awesome. So in this video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different that I've never done before, and I'm going to respond to a depersonalization and derealization disorder cure video, which anybody who's been on YouTube searching for information about this disorder knows that there are a lot of videos like this. I know that I watched plenty of them whenever I was trying to figure out how to get rid of depersonalization and derealization disorder. I'll just call it DPDR disorder because it takes for freaking ever to say depersonalize it. I'm not even gonna say it again. I struggled with DPDR disorder for 2 years of my life, and thankfully I have fully overcome this disorder, but I also realized what I had to do to get out of this disorder. And it was not just one thing. And that's typically what happens with cure videos, is they say, do this one thing, and then everything will get better. But that's actually not accurate. And the truth is, depersonalization and derealization are trauma coping mechanisms. And whenever I say trauma, I'm talking about psychological trauma. If you go to the ER, there's like a trauma unit and they're talking about like a physical impact to the body. But psychological trauma simply means that you're overwhelmed beyond your ability to cope. So there was either a major stressor that came into your life or a series of low-level stressors that built up over time that caused you to hit that overwhelm point. Your stressful state was so severe that you didn't have a coping mechanism in place to cope with it. And because you hit that overwhelm point, it happened with me 2 different times in my life, it caused a series of physiological and psychological responses that are designed to make you feel numb and disconnected, because your brain and nervous system think, because you hit that overwhelm point, that there must be a tiger eating you. So thus they want to make you feel numb and disconnected to help your quote-unquote death be as numb and painless and disconnected as possible, even though I'm just betting there ain't no tiger around. I'm just betting that you're not in any physical danger, but our brain and nervous system are very old. They're like a smoke alarm. They don't know how to tell the difference between smoke from a real fire and smoke from burnt bacon. Anytime we reach that overwhelm point, some people's nervous system decide to cope with that by producing these very, very bizarre feelings of disconnection from the body called depersonalization, or these very weird sensations of disconnection from the material world, which is called derealization. The feelings are perfectly safe and they are curable in the sense of you can fully overcome this disorder, but it's not going to be by just doing one thing. You're going to have to identify the stressors that are in your life, and you're going to have to establish healthy coping mechanisms for those things. And every stressor that you can remove from your life, the closer you are to getting out of a traumatized state, which is an overwhelmed state, and down to a level of stress that you can cope with. And then the feelings of DPDR will automatically shut off. So with that little introduction, let's go ahead and watch this video. And I just want to say, I'm not showing this video to shame this person. I'm sure that they have great intentions. In fact, I'm going to say everybody has good intentions that's trying to help people overcome this disorder. But just by the title, I'm just going to assume that it's not going to give an accurate representation of what it actually takes to cure DPDR disorder. This dude's shirt looks pretty sweet. It says, "Every little thing is gonna be all right." All right, that's a sweet song. Like this dude already.
I got the cure, but the cure got to be with your heart. First and foremost, you got to read the Bible. Psalms 23. You got to read the Bible. Psalms 23.
Okay, hold on one second. Let me say a few things here. No, I'm not about to bash Christianity or the Bible, because I'm a part of both of those things. I wrote a book about the Bible that is now available on Amazon. I also love to read and study the Bible. I've got a New American Standard Bible. I've got Matthew Henry's concise commentary on the whole Bible. I've got the complete guide to the Bible. I've got Rose's book of Bible charts, maps, and timelines. I've got the Bible that my grandma gave me, and it's actually really special. It has a lot of her written commentary in it. I've got a New King James Version of the Bible. I've got a one-year Bible. And I am such a Bible nerd that I have a Bible dictionary. So the reason I say that is I want you to know that I'm not coming against this concept that being a person of faith or reading the Bible can help you, generally speaking. But the reason that I don't mention my faith very much on this channel is because I want you to know that there are people that overcome the disorders I mentioned that have all different religious views or no religious views at all. And I also want to say that I know that a lot of people that follow this channel, some of them are Muslims, some of them are atheists, some of them are Buddhists, some of them are Christians, some of them are agnostic. I don't care. I love you no matter what you believe as far as religious views go. But let me go ahead and speak to what this guy is saying. This guy, as much as I love him and we have a lot in common and he's trying to help people, he's not giving accurate information. Reading the Bible does not cure depersonalization and derealization disorder. You want to know why? Because I was reading the Bible before, during, and after depersonalization and derealization disorder. Being a person of faith, reading the scriptures, while I personally enjoy those things and they do help me as a person, they certainly didn't keep me from starting to experience depersonalization and derealization disorder. So if they didn't keep me from experiencing that disorder, then why would they somehow be the cure to that disorder? This person, for some reason, they got overwhelmed, they reached a traumatized state, and he started to experience depersonalization and derealization, and he associates the scriptures with a sense of peace, with a sense of objective clarity, with something positive, and whenever he read the scriptures, it made him feel better for the moment. But here's the truth. Just because we feel better for a moment, just because we do something that makes us feel better for a moment, does not mean that we've automatically gone through and developed healthy coping mechanisms for all the stressors in our life that are contributing to a traumatized state. And the reason why I'm being so passionate about this is not to say I'm right and this person is wrong. In fact, this person probably has a lot to teach me about a lot of things. But it's very, very important that you don't have what I call the magical pill mentality. The magical pill mentality is this belief that there's going to be this magical pill that you're going to find, metaphorically speaking, that you take it and it's just going to cure everything. It's going to automatically cause all your traumas to be processed. It's going to develop healthy coping mechanisms for you. I see this all the time whenever I'm chatting with people. I'll say, if you can develop healthy coping mechanisms for the stressors in your life, then you can get out of this disorder. But then a lot of times the response is, yeah, but the symptoms are just so uncomfortable and I'm so miserable right now. And what is that one thing that I can do? What is a tea that I can drink? What is a pill that I can take? What is something that I can say or something that I can think, or just one thing that's going to make this all go away? But that magical pill that so many people are looking for, that one thing that's going to cure depersonalization and derealization instantly, effortlessly, and permanently, that does not exist. Now, can you overcome depersonalization and derealization permanently? Yes, but is it going to be instant? No. It is going to take time. Is it going to be effortless? No. It is going to take some effort on your part. In my own life and in my experience of now having spoken with thousands of people that struggle with depersonalization and derealization disorder since I've started this YouTube channel, I now know that the magical pill mentality is the #1 hindrance to recovery from DPDR disorder. I'm going to give you a list that I made, things that I struggled with and that I see a lot of other people struggling with that are stressors that start to accumulate over time and are causing a lot of people to hit that overwhelm point. Not forgiving ourselves, not forgiving others, dwelling on the past or the future, trying to control things we have no control over, staying connected to toxic people that bring stress and drama in our life, lack of self-value, lack of boundaries, inability to calm ourselves when stressed, eating unhealthy processed foods that are high in sugar, oversleeping, undersleeping, waking up at random times and going to sleep at different times, stressing out about not getting enough sleep, eating an hour before bed, having the room too hot when sleeping and not cool enough, not being able to shut off our mind when trying to sleep, lack of healthy hobbies, no vision for our life, shame, regret, seeing the worst in every situation instead of the best, lack of daily exercise, constantly resisting feared outcomes, believing that your recovery will happen by itself without time, effort, and patience. That's such a big one. Looking for the magical pill that will cure you instantly, effortlessly, and permanently, which is what this whole video is about. Suppressing emotion instead of letting it out and processing it. Suppressing the tremor response in our body during a fight or flight circumstance. The way that the body naturally discharges fight or flight energy whenever you go into a fight or flight state is sometimes with physical shaking and tremoring, and sometimes we suppress that process in fear, and it causes fight or flight energy to actually get trapped in our body, which can then lead to an overall anxious state on a daily basis. So we need to allow that tremor response to happen and don't suppress it. Constricting our body when exposed to stressors, having the mentality of a victim instead of a powerful person, negative self-talk and lack of positive self-talk, lack of routine, unoccupied mind, increased anxiety, dwelling on symptoms, researching symptoms, watching videos or reading blogs about symptoms, and that's also what this video is about, watching cure videos, looking for that one thing that's going to fix everything, responding with fear to symptoms, fighting symptoms, trying to numb symptoms, entertaining irrational fears about symptoms, having too fast of a pace in life, not slowing down moment by moment. We have bad posture, it's slumped over instead of having confident posture, breathing through our chest instead of our diaphragm, constantly asking a negative what if question, obsessive self-monitoring, not being fed up with your symptoms and situation enough to put in the time, effort, and patience to recover. That is so common that people are just not fed up. And I could give commentary on all these symptoms, but that would be an hour-long video, so I won't do that. But so often people have not reached that fed up point where they're like, you know what, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. Right? I will put in the time, put in the effort, and overcome this permanently. I'm tired of how I'm feeling. I'm tired of how these symptoms are just wrecking my life. What do I have to do? Those are the people that are going to recover. But as long as we're still looking for this magical pill, and we're obsessing over symptoms, we're just not going to be willing to put forth the effort that it takes to recover. Putting an objective time frame on your recovery that stresses you out anytime that you don't meet that time frame, turning wants into needs and needs into wants, constantly talking about DPDR or other symptoms, watching the news because that can really stress people out, especially if you're a highly sensitive person. Trying to recover by yourself without the help of a calming voice to guide you, and also put on here drugs or pornography. So as you can see, these are stressors that are there because we don't have the presence of healthy coping mechanisms in our life. And a lot of people think that depersonalization and derealization just come out of nowhere, but no, if you really understand all of these stressors and that we're not coping well with them, it's no wonder that we hit that overwhelm point. It's very, very, very rare that there is only one thing that is a major stressor in somebody's life, and that's why they're starting to experience depersonalization and derealization 24/7 or most of the time. Half of all adults will experience DPDR at some point in their life whenever they enter a traumatic state, but they will quickly come out of a traumatic state, and within a month they will stop feeling those feelings. Why is that? That's because they don't have all of these stressors that they're not coping well with, and thus they can very quickly de-escalate their stressful state and get down to a level of stress that they can cope with, whereas for 2% of the population, they will go on to feel the feelings of DPDR long after a month because they have so many different stressors in their life that they're not coping with, that they're not able to de-escalate their stressful state down to a level that they can cope with. So they're constantly walking around in a traumatized state, in an overwhelmed state. And because they're constantly walking around with all of these stressors keeping them in that overwhelmed state, guess what happens? Their brain and nervous system thinks that they must be being eaten by a tiger. Why else would they be so overwhelmed and not coping well? So thus their brain and nervous system responds to that by making them feel numb and disconnected. Yes, it is quite simple. However, it is going to take time, effort, and patience. There is no way to escape that. And the sooner that you accept that, the quicker that you will move towards recovering from this disorder. So here's my question for you. Have you been looking for that one thing that's going to cause you to overcome this disorder? And are you ready to put in the time, effort, and patience to overcome it? Let me know in the comments below. Also, just ask any questions about this disorder in general. Give this a big like if it helped you. Also, make sure to subscribe if you're not part of the Fearless family. I love you guys. You're amazing. I know that this was kind of a tough talk, but I care about you and I want you to overcome this. And you have to stop looking for that one thing because it doesn't exist. All right, I will see you guys in the next video.